And back again, JJ here in Osaka. This is specifically the Taisho the Taisho Ward in Osaka. And we're going to be hitting up the hard off here. And we're just going to hot dash over here. And I'm gonna say, like, in the last few days, guys, I've been super busy. Not just with work, but at the after work activities, and I've been hitting up quite a bit of shops. Setting records, new records, personal records there. So expect to see a ton of content. And in fact, as a matter of fact, this particular visit here, I was out there on Sunday, the 19th. And so just a few hours ago, but here we have some PlayStation Vitas, some PSPs, a Game & Watch, and there's another one behind it, but it's not a Game & Watch. That could be a Bandai one. And then we have the Neo Pocket Color and a PS Vita TV, all sorts of stuff here. And then look at this, the Summer Carnival 92. Look at the price on that bad boy. I've seen another copy of this, and it's going to be at the Hard Off in Oizumi up in Gunma. And I believe they have a similar price. But here we go. Now, at a first glance, when I came in here, specifically in this showcase, I felt that things were definitely... I felt that most things were going to be crazy overpriced. And as we progress into the video, you'll see that that's not going to be the full story. But a lot of little handhelds here. Now, if you're into handhelds, Hard Off, Book Off, Surugaya, that's going to be like your best bet. But you are going to expect to pay a similar price point to that. But if you dig around, the junk section could save you quite a bit of money. But look at the Mega Drive Mini 2. I bought one at Furuichi, complete in the box, for 8,900 yen. Love that thing. And having the Mega Drive Mini 2, it's kind of making me question if I should hold on to my my Sega Mega CD, because it has all the games that I want on the Sega Mega CD, and that would really save some space. But that's just crazy talk. Probably not going to do that. Let's just keep taking a look here at all these Nintendo handhelds. Always nice to see this stuff. And my preference actually for the 3DS is going to be the vanilla version, the original version. Something about it, I just prefer it more than the new Nintendo 3DS and the XL variants. Here we have some Nintendo Switch, and the Switch 2, guys. That's definitely going to be like a day one for me. I love the Switch. As a matter of fact, I brought the Switch with me here to Osaka, and that's what I usually I'm playing. I also brought my Game Boy, my PC Engine GT, and my PSP Go. So I got quite a few handhelds here with me. But look at all this Switch stock. And then we have the Switch lights on the bottom. If it was me, I would probably put the Switch lights on the top shelf. But anyhow, and then we have an assortment of PlayStation 4s. Mie Prefecture. I'm gonna be releasing some videos of the months that I was kind of absent, because I was still filming at select stores, and I was out in Mie Prefecture during that time. And they had some pretty good deals on PlayStation 4 Pros out there. We're talking like 10,000 yen. And some of them even included the box. But 17,000 there for that vanilla PS. And then here's the PS3 PS4 Pro Spider-Man edition. We got a 1S. So they had quite a bit of hardware. And this is just one aisle. On the opposite side, they had more. So with regard to hardware, these guys were stacked. And if you do make it out here to Taisho, you're going to be catching the loop line, and then you can catch a bus. And that's going to be like a 9-minute, on average, bus ride. I actually walked it, and it was about 35 minutes, and it was actually a really pleasant walk. And on the way, I found a Book Off, so I stopped in there and expect a video on that place in the coming days. But here we have some retro games in the showcase, a very small showcase. Considering with all the hardware that they had, I was expecting to see something a little bit bigger. But nonetheless, let's have a look here. Here we got a Metal Slug first mission for the Neo Geo Pocket Color. And that's just the loose cart. And you know what? That's not too bad of a price, but I definitely want to pick up the Switch collection, and I can't seem to find the physical form, so I may have to get it digitally. But then Gunstar Heroes there, 7,700 yen. That's the lowest that I've seen it in a long time. Now, that was sun faded. And then we have Streets of Rage 3. They had Altered Beast, Thunder Force 4, Sonic 3. We got some Musha action, and this is actually more expensive than the Surugaya out in Kobe. And then what do we have back there? Was that a Salamander? I do want a copy of that. Not really sure what that one is with the two people on the little bike there, but we have Rockman 4. They had Rockman 5 within the stacks, and then we have Super Metroid, 6,600 yen. So for the loose cart, that's definitely the most expensive that I've seen. I did find a few copies that were like half the price of that. I should have picked up that Art of Fighting for the Neo Geo 3. Art of Fighting 3 for the Neo Geo, kind of mixing up my words there. But we have Layer Section 2. We have the Fireman 2 for the PS1. I wonder how that one is. And what else do we have here? We got some PC Engine titles. We have Batman there for 19,250 yen. And then Saint Dragon. Now, I did pick up that copy, and that thing was super clean. As a matter of fact, I was just playing it on the old PC Engine GT. And then we have a few Neo Geo titles in the back. And it's going to be a lot of the common Neo Geo titles. And then up top, just an assortment of stuff. But, you know, there was a few games in there that were kind of calling out to me. We got some Macross action. Look at the price of that bad boy for the Famicom. And then in the back there, I believe it's, or maybe the one below, there is going to be a copy of Doremi Fantasy. That's Illusion of Gaia in the corner back there. And then we have some Chrono Trigger for 4,400 yen. They had a Makaimura. And a lot of Parodius for the Super Famicom. What else do we have here? Athena there for 55. That one's always pricey. And then that's Blazon by Atlas. I heard mixed things about that game, but there's Doremi Fantasy, 66,000. Look at that. Next to some copies of Super Metroid and some more Parodius. And Doremi Fantasy, that's definitely one of the more pricier Super Famicom titles. And honestly, I don't know too much about the game. I believe it's a platformer. But anyhow, let's continue here. We're going to take a look at a few loose carts. Usually the loose carts is something that I overlook, but sometimes, you know, going for a loose cart is the way to save money outside of just like, you know, emulation and whatnot. But not too bad of a price there for some, at least for that Rockman X. It was 8,000 or 880, and then double the price for part 2 and part 3. We got some Nintendo 64 titles, but you could spend hours just digging through those carts. And yeah, I was thinking about that, the Fireman 2. But I don't know enough about it. The first game in the series was released on the Super Famicom, and it's far more expensive. But here we go, some more Super Famicom action. And then we have the Sega Mega Drive, and that's what we're going to focus on first. What do we have here? Now, this I found for the Game Boy, and I believe that's like a shooting game based off of a popular anime. Then we have Aladdin here. Now, Aladdin is also on the Nintendo Switch. We have some Dynamite Heady there. Now, this was a little bit sun-faded, and I was actually thinking about this, but you know what? Even if I got Dynamite Heady, back in the day, I didn't really care for it, and there's no point to pick something like that up. The funds are limited, so I have to focus on essentials, and this Saint Dragon for the PC Engine was definitely on my want list. And the condition of that copy was excellent. Is excellent. And what else do we have here? We have some Puyo Puyo Sun. And look at the price of this one. 500 yen before sales tax. We got some tape back there. Now, the box felt a little bit like it had some damage to it, but for that price, that's not bad at all. You know? Other shops definitely have it for a higher price, and 500 yen. That I felt that was pretty reasonable for it. And then we got some DS, 3DS, quite a bit. And the variety of games that they had here, at least for like the retro stuff, it was limited to one aisle, or half of an aisle rather. But they had I would say like a solid variety. The 3D Mercenaries Biohazard, I haven't played that one, and kind of curious about it. I believe it's just like a battle mode. Here we have the Dark Side Chronicles. I have that on the PlayStation 3. Then we have Knights. I believe this is the sequel, which I had, and I wasn't really feeling it too all that much. What else? We got some PlayStation 2. Now, and then down below we have what do we have? PSP and PS1. For the PS2, there's quite a few titles that I still want to add to my collection, but at the moment, we all kind of go in phases with our collecting, and right at the moment, I'm not really, I guess, actively, going too hard on the PS2 collecting. Although I did pick up a PS2 game from the junk section, which we will see in a bit, and it was really, I felt it was a pretty good deal. But anyhow, let's see, what do we have here? PlayStation 1 titles. Now, the PlayStation 1 selection, they had a lot of the common stuff. They, here we have some JoJo for the PS1, and this is a pretty fun release for the PlayStation 1. It supports the Pocket Station. We have Gun Bullet here. Do like that cover. I do like that cover. But on the topic of PS1, one thing that I've been noticing is the Biohazard games, part 1, part 2, and especially part 3. Those things have seen a price increase in the last few months. But you can still, every now and then find them in the junk section for about 100 yen. But a lot of these shops in the city have definitely increased the price on those. So they must be, I suppose, popular titles. And then we got some Super CD-ROM. We got some 360 in there. So all around, a nice little variety of things. Which, also, if you're a collector, I really do have a lot of respect for some of the collectors that just focus on one or two platforms, because it makes it so easy. And I'm just kind of all over the map, PC Engine, Super Famicom, Sega Mega Drive, 3DO. There was a few 3DO games that they had in the stack that I wanted. And I do love that version of Super Street Fighter 2X. And then they had Spike Out. Look at this. And I'm surprised that they didn't have Metal Wolf Chaos. Guys, Metal Wolf Chaos on the original Xbox, it's a common game. A very expensive one, but there's so many places that have that game in stock. It's not all that difficult to find a copy. But yeah, the 3DO, man. A great little acquired taste, I do like the 3DO, and I have an FZ1 with the little A and B switch. And I Road Rash on that. That's a great game on the 3DO. And I do play it. It's not something that's just collecting dust for months on end. But in fact, I had a small break from my job here in Osaka, and when I went home, I fired up the 3DO. Great little platform. Here we have Lunar for the Mega CD. And then we have Sonic CD. And the price there, that's not bad. 4,000 yen before sales tax. Now, this is a tax-free shop. But look at this. They got some 3DO. They had the PC Engine and Neo Geo CD. Let's see. What do we have here? Outlive. I wonder what kind of... I've seen this before, but I don't know what kind of... what genre that is. And that's Sunsoft, so it could be pretty good. Overdriving. Need for Speed. I should have picked that one up. I completely forgot, just kind of looking at the footage. But no big deal. That's a fairly common game. Here we have some Neo Geo CD titles. We got KOF 98, Samurai Showdown 4. We got some Soccer Action, Part 3 on Spirits. Part 2, Real Bout. I should have picked this one up too. I'm building up that Neo Geo CD collection. That's another platform that I that I've been kind of going hard with the collecting. Now, this Art of Fighting 3 was more expensive in the stacks, and in the showcase, it was about 3,000 yen. And we got some Load Runner. I've never played a Load Runner game. They seem kind of fun. Might have to change that. But we got some Darius. Not really sure what this is, but it looks like it's a visual RPG type of novel. And Super Darius on the old CD-ROM. I wonder if that has some good music. But yeah, the old PC Engine. That's kind of what I'm focusing on at the moment. And with the PC Engine, you got to be careful, man. Those PCE Works bootlegs, reproduction releases there. You definitely have to pay careful attention, because you could be paying top dollar for one of the PCE Works releases. And I'm sure, like, not every employee is going to be well versed into, telling the difference between a bootleg and the original. But look at the cover of this, man. What is that? Record of Lotus War? Beautiful cover. This is like a platformer with two comedians there. It's kind of a popular game on the PC Engine. But look at a lot of the covers here are just absolutely stunning. I wonder how this is. This racer. I do like how, in the back of those the HuCard releases, it doesn't have any screenshots, but I do like how it has the original retail price. Red Alert. This is a great little top-down run and gun. I do have a copy of that. And I do enjoy that game. And then the Dreamcast selection was a little bit larger than what I'm used to seeing. Usually it's like just a handful of games. But here we have Maken X, which also got a PS2 re-release, and it went into third person, which is kind of neat. But I think the Dreamcast, the game itself is not, nothing to go too crazy about, but it's an interesting title nonetheless, that Maken X. Now we had Power Stone 2. I kind of do want that, but I'm going to hold out. I'm just going to get it for the Switch on that. The Fighting Collection Volume 2 Soul Calibur there for 500 yen. That's a pretty good deal, especially in today's day and age. We got some Power Smash 2. And what else do we have for the old Dreamcast? No Biohazard, unfortunately, but they did have a Sega Rally 2. And what's that? Some Puyo Puyo something. I wonder how that one is on the old Dreamcast. But let's keep making our way here. Some more hardware. We're going to take a look at that aisle for sure. And then here we got some controllers. And let's see what we got here. So a lot of PlayStation 4, a lot of Nintendo Switch. We got some Mega Drive 2s there. Well, we have the 2 and then the original. The Sega Dreamcast for 16,500 yen, which they had one in the junk section. And we'll have a look at that in a little bit. We got Lethal Enforcers. I'm not sure which platform this is for. I'm not sure if it's for the Super Famicom or for the Mega CD. But 13,200 yen. And that's a pretty thick box. But we got some GameCubes, Super Famicom, N64. So quite a bit of hardware. But I feel, like for the hardware, honestly, through the, just kind of in the main, outside of the junk section here in the main gaming area, like some of this stuff's pretty pricey. Like the Wii U, 12,000. Come on, man. If you look, and you don't even have to look all that, too hard, you could find one like 2,500 yen, a Wii U that is complete in the box. For 2,500 yen. And then we have a variety of Sega Saturn box art there. And then the old PS2. They also had a Slim in the junk section, which, when I saw that thing in the junk section, we're going to take a look at it. As a matter of fact, let's head over there. And it was kind of hidden in the back, as you'll see here shortly. And I tested that bad boy, and It had some issues. I didn't pick it up though, because some of the issues were a little bit not really worth it. But the condition of the box and the manual and everything was absolutely it was clean. Very, very clean. But here we go with the junk section. Now this junk section is fairly small, but despite that, they had quite a bit of hardware there. Here we have a a Famicom, and then we have a PlayStation Vita. And unfortunately, I didn't take a quick or a detailed look, so I'm not really sure what the issue is there. And then we got some PS4s. Again, Mia prefixture. That's the spot to go to get a PS4 Pro for like 10,000 yen. And what else do we have here? We got some just kind of all over the map here with the filming, but we got a Famicom there, and that was like some Cobra little Game and Watch type of little game. We got the TV Game 15, an early Nintendo console there. We got a PS2 Slim, and then we got a PC Engine for 5,000 yen before sales tax. And then it did have the little protective cover for the pins in the back, which is like this red cover, which when it was new, it also included another cover for the controller port, which those things are, they're always cool to have it complete. But here we have the Final Fantasy 13 PS3 Slim Edition. I do want that thing. Such a sucker for those for that color scheme there. We got the twin stick. Now, here in this part, at least in this shelf, the back, you want to make sure you're digging in deep, because there was quite a bit of hardware in the back. And there was quite a bit of Sega Saturns back there, some N64s, more PlayStation 2s, but they had quite a bit. Now the twin stick there, that thing was coming in at $16.50. And I've never actually used the Sega Saturn's twin stick controller. But then we had a Slim there, a 1S, and as you can see, a little dirty, but I'm sure with a little bit of cleaning, that thing could be back in tip-top shape. But we got some PS2s. What else do we have? Then there's the Dreamcast. Look at the price on that Dreamcast. $3,850 before sales tax. Now, I did open that bad boy up, and I posted a story on my Insta feed. So if you want to take a look at the condition, if you're curious about that, head on over to my Instagram account. We got a PCFX, an Xbox, and we got an Elite there, and then we got another Wii U. And the price was on the top. And I'm just gonna let the footage play out here. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult with my big old camera on one hand, and then just trying to manhandle these things. But yeah, the Wii U. Let's see what the price. 4,000 yen before sales tax. And I think Saitama is a really good place to get Wii U stuff. A lot of Super Famicoms here, in varying conditions, at least the boxes there. They also had a PS1 there for about 8,000 yen. And arcade sticks. Now, I'm trying to remember what was back there. I think it was another N64 just kind of tucked away back there. But quite a bit of hardware. And that's just one side. Let's take a look at the opposite side there. Then we got a PS3 Slim and a number of PS3 Fats. And then we have the PS2 Slim in the back there. And 6,000 yen. But like when I was taking a look at it, one of the controller ports was completely missing. And the tag said that it was reading discs, but when I was testing it, the discs weren't even spinning. So, with all those little issues, I was like, nah. But I picked this up, 100 yen. Now, I really want the non-greatest hits version. I have the North American version, but I want the Japanese, just the vanilla release. But for that price, greatest hits, I'll take it. And the disc was, it's just dusty, but mostly scratch-free. And, I didn't really dig too deep here in the junk section, honestly. I after I was done filming because just limited time. Had to keep it moving. I also hit up a few 2nd Street recycle shops, but they never have anything really of interest. But anyhow, guys, more to come soon. Ciao.